Moroni also condemned the teachers of the Latter-day Holy Church of God for loving money and riches more than loving the poor, needy, sick, and afflicted. Even worse, these teachers will suffer the hungry, needy, naked, sick, and afflicted to pass by unnoticed, let alone assisted. This prophecy is being fulfilled before our very eyes. Within the last several months, the existence of an investment fund managed by the church-owned Ensign Peak Advisors has come to the knowledge of the public. According to the Wall Street Journal, the fund has amassed around $100 billion. The church immediately sent out Roger Clark, the head of Ensign Peak Advisors, and members of the presiding bishopric for interviews with the Journal. The church does not deny that there is a fund, but does not confirm nor deny the amount stockpiled. Due to the notoriety of the issue, the First Presidency issued a rare statement on its finances. Whatever the reasonableness of the First Presidency's argument, it is doctrinally false. The lesson of the parable of the talents is not the wise financial management and the building of a prudent reserve for the future. Rather, as the Lord pointed out in a revelation explaining the new united order, the lesson of the parable of the talents is that every man is required to improve the talent given him so that he may gain other talents. These other talents are then to be cast into the Lord's storehouse and become the common property of the whole church. These talents are not to be sequestered in a secret reserve for the future. 4 days later, in another revelation to Joseph Smith, the Lord explained that widows, orphans, and the poor are to be provided for from the bishop's storehouse. The First Presidency, on the other hand, proclaims that these funds are used to meet the needs of the growing church, including more meeting houses, temples, education, humanitarian work, and missionary efforts throughout the world. No wonder Moroni complains that the brethren care more for meeting houses, temples, and educational facilities than for the poor and needy. The First Presidency also cites the church's humanitarian work. It regularly touts its worldwide relief efforts, which now have reached $2 billion. Unfortunately, another doctrinal fact-checker is in order. By commandment of the Lord, tithing and other donations from the saints are to be used exclusively for the saints, this people. Monies and meat are to be kept in the bishop's storehouse and then used for the wants of the saints. They are not to be used for the inhabitants of the world. Our question to the brethren is, where is this bishop's storehouse appointed to provide food and raiment according to the wants of the saints? Another question, why is the $100 billion prudent reserve, that which is more than needful, not in the hands of the bishop and in his storehouse? The First Presidency claims that the prudent reserve is for the future. What its future use may be was left unexplained. The presiding bishop of the church, Gerald Cousset, did explain its intended future uses in the 2018 Church History Symposium. These invested funds are to be used to continue the work of the church during times of hardship. This fund, so it appears, is not to be used for the poor or the needy, the widow or the orphan. They are not on the brethren's radar, just as Moroni prophesied. Let us be clear on this point. If they so desired, the brethren could choose to release these funds to meet the needs of the poor and needy at any time. They are, after all, the ultimate owners of the fund and its assets. For example, the current pandemic might be considered a time of hardship. Record numbers of U.S. citizens and Utah residents, including members, are filing for unemployment. Thousands of businesses in Utah and throughout the nation have been closed down. Surely, this is a time of hardship for the needy and the poor. While Congress allocates trillions of dollars of economic assistance to those in need, where is the church? Has it used any of the $100 billion fund to assist the unemployed saints or others affected by COVID-19? The answer is that the church has done nothing to help ease the economic hardship of the saints. The only assistance offered is lip service. 2 calls for fasting and prayer by President Nelson, asking the Lord to control the pandemic, protect caregivers, and strengthen the economy. This is dead faith, as the Apostle James declared. Any prayer in faith must be attended with works. A brother and sister destitute of daily food must also be fed.